So hey everybody, I finally got my shit together, and now we can play a little bit of Killer 7 in color this time, which is pretty essential to the experience. Anyway, so we're in the Celtic building, and we gotta take down some guys, and we're gonna have a good time doing that. And you know, got music back. I can actually hear things now. We're gonna talk to Iwazaru, see what's up with him. He's gonna be all weird and crazy bondage guy dude thing. And yeah, we're gonna try to talk about the game a little bit. I'm starting to think that the audio is actually kind of distracting me, so I'm kind of just babbling about nothing. So maybe I kind of have to listen to the game actually to play. So for those who might not know too much about the Killer 7 and what might become kind of apparent as we start playing. Actually, a little tangent before we do that. I want to just say I have a bit of I'm screaming people. A bit of appreciation for the GameCube controller because I put this thing in my hand again and it sounds really good. It feels really good. Like listen to this, like just nice snappy controls. I really like it. I don't know how that feels on your ears, but also reloading animations. Yeah, Dan's loves it. But yeah, so let's do this thing first, and then we can start talking about the game a bit more. But Killer 7 are basically a group of killers, like assassin types, who have come together under the wing of a guy named Harmon Smith, who is seen as their kind of ringleader. So he's the one who's kind of in charge of them and stuff. And their job basically is to eliminate the Heaven Smile, which are these guys. That's unfortunate because there's certain smiles in the game who actually have a lot of blood that you need for upgrades and stuff. And that was one of them. Anything that's like kind of solid color, yeah, they're very helpful to actually kill and actually do something with. But, you know, whatever. This guy is, yeah, that guy's dead. Can actually, I don't think they respawn here or whatever. We can take a look at that. But yeah, so there was a bombing at the UN done by Heaven Smile, which you'll see a little bit later during the, I don't even know what that is. That looks like a head, sorta. But you'll see that a little bit later on, I guess, with this game's kind of like BS kind of story. People really love to deconstruct Killer 7 as like some kind of masterpiece, and in a ways it is, but in a way too, it's just, if you've ever been one of those kind of people who would read Hand in Killer 7 or whatever it is, it's kind of like this doesn't make any sense. In here is like a ton of information about the actual game, and we can see what Iwazaru has to say about this. It's actually pretty interesting to hear about it, I guess, the multiple personality thing. Yeah. They're anything but simple. Yeah. No, he can't. For whatever reason, the security cameras always seem to change you, and Garcian, his role in the game is to basically, like, you can actually see it, I guess. His special ability is basically, if you die as one of the Smiths, you go out, and Garcian Smith goes out and picks you up and revives you, basically. I'm playing not to die as much as possible, you know? But you never know, that might happen. It's the chief. Really strange skill. Of the ring? Oh yeah. So that's something that's worth mentioning too. Is that actually this is kind of interesting too, because there's basically a log here that tells you about what everyone does, all the enemies and stuff. So you'll see a little later on that Yeah, it's a little more disturbing than that, I think. Yeah. There's a one part in the game where you go meet Dan Smith's old mentor, and you realize that yeah, it's pretty weird how the smiles are made. Anything but happy. Anyway, but yeah, you can go in there, and it was I would say about everything. And you can go on the TV, and through the TV you can go and change it to different personalities. You can also use the B channel here to give this guy blood, thick blood, which will turn to serum, which you can use then to upgrade skills. I think, yeah, upgrade your skills, and then they gain abilities after a while.
Don't make me say it again.
Yeah, Garcian's pretty cool. You can actually play as him. He's not very good, but he does have a down attack, which is in the later part of the game really the only way to use him as a character. So yeah, kind of an interesting save system mechanic in here too. Samantha, who's there kind of lounging, she's kind of a weird character. She only services you when she's in her maid outfit, and when she's not, she's kind of just lazing around. Weird cutscene later in the game with her too. Anyway, so let's oh shit. Kaede is actually pretty good, though she's a little slow. So if you get caught in like an alley with too many guys are attacking you, your best bet's kind of to just get out of here, get out of her, and go in another guy's body, and then yeah, do that. So again, smile variety in this game. Actually get a closer look at them here. Okay, so this is an example where you're kind of against a wall, and you really have to consider your options here, because the last thing you want to do is get hurt or killed. And you can just see there, Cody Smith has a special ability. If you use one thick vial of blood, which isn't the same as thick blood, you can use a charge shot. Now, this little guy here is pretty interesting actually, and I'm actually gonna go and get see if I can. Okay, wash my blood. So we're at 204 right now, right? We're at 204 right now. We're at 204? Why didn't I get any blood? That's not supposed to happen. Those things are supposed to give you tons of blood. Well, whatever. They're not holy warriors, really. But yeah. Little smiles like that give you a lot of blood, and upgrading your characters is really important in this game. The only character I'm going to be upgrading right now is probably Dan, most likely. There's no one else I really need in the game, to be honest. I'm just using Kaede right now because it's an easy way to go and look at the smiles and look at your environment and stuff. Ooh. So there's guys going to be running up here. So you can see in the game, they like to give you kind of variety, which is cool. But some of the smiles can get pretty terrifying near to the end of it. There's these one guys who, lots of people getting killed here. You know, it's been a while since I played this game. I never really take a chance to like look around the environments and stuff and see what's going on. Low res paintings, whatever. You gotta help me.
You gotta help me.
Ah, my back's exploded. Because I got destroyed by a Heaven Smile. They're not great when they attack you. They kind of just explode crazily. Not that great. So we can't go there yet. We're gonna double back after a while. Let's see kind of how awful the Heaven Smiles are. It's like these weird masses of flesh. Kind of gross. Pretty gross. Yeah, but we gotta keep going now. Room 202, 212. Can't do anything there yet, but we're gonna come back. Yoon Hun over here is an interesting character who I barely use, and he gives you tips on how to beat puzzles, which in this game are ridiculously easy, and you don't really need tips to do it. But if you haven't played the game ever before, you're not like me who actually knows how to do all the puzzles, then maybe it is helpful. Basically what you do is you shoot his mask and he takes a bunch of your blood. I'm really not... I checked the candlesticks. Okay. Yeah, okay. He basically tells you how to do it without even like having to use the mask, and I'm really hesitant to use it just because... Okay. Really hesitant to use it just because it does take up a lot of blood, but you know, I'm only gonna do it once. And he has kind of a funny pose when you do, so let's bite the bullet. So yeah, this is what he becomes. Yeah. Thank you. Perfect. Look at that finger. Do I want to take a hint from this guy? I don't know. It's like, yo, asshole. Oh, thank you. You're so nice. He's the true mask. He's the true Yoon Hyun, or whatever. What are you gonna tell me? To light the candles in the order because there's numbers on them? And use the ring of fire? Yeah, this is a really helpful hint. Okay. Basically, you don't have to use those hints ever. Because this game does not have complicated puzzles. Like, ever. And I actually didn't use up that much blood. Actually, I think I only used a vial of blood, so that's good. Oh, we have the new two guys, actually. We can take a look at these guys, too. Showed in the last video. Not very well. But yeah, this is Kevin Smith. No relation to the director. He can go invisible, and he uses knives. You can also do that. Which is, like, super crazy acrobatics. Kind of makes you dizzy. But the good thing about him is that he can throw knives basically like infinitely, and he doesn't like ever have to reload or anything. So that's pretty helpful. This guy's freaking out because he was killed by a smile. This dude here, who I don't think has a name, what does he do? He dispenses information about bosses, usually. He kind of transforms a lot. A really disturbing face. He's like a kid. Also, one weird note about this game are the voices of the ghosts that you find. So a weird thing about it is in the Japanese version of the game, they're actually speaking in English. You can see how weird the animation is here. Yeah, kind of strange. So they are actually speaking in English, which is kind of interesting, but I think they're speaking in English and it's just really low and it's still distorted. But in this game, to make it weirder, they distorted it completely and like made it backwards, I think, and just jumbled the lines. You can find a few videos on YouTube showing people like playing the Japanese game and you can actually understand what Iwazaru is saying. It's pretty weird. But it's like in kind of like Japanese English, so it doesn't sound that great. A weird thing is that I found this, which is really strange, is that Harmon Smith, who you'll see later on, he is played by... What's his name? He is played by a dude who is... Shit, what's his name? He plays Reginald Barkley in Voyager, and he... in one episode of Voyager, he was also in Next Generation. There's one episode where he's speaking to Catherine Janeway, and he uses the same voice distortion that's in this game, and it's really, really weird. And it turns out that's a voice distortion that you can get on Max or something. So yeah, anyway. These carry pigeons tell you about stuff. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Emir, whoever that is. And many thanks for choosing me for the job. My name is Johnny Cagnon, otherwise known as Speedster. I get excited when I slit guys' throats. I know I may be sick, but I do the best work in town. This is a report on the job. I'm sure you'll like what I have to say. I watch them like a hawk, so I think a hefty reward is in order. There are 7 in the Smith Syndicate. Dan Smith, who uses a large caliber revolver. Kaide Smith, who uses a large automatic rifle. Not really a rifle. Con Smith, who uses 2 full auto pistols. Master Smith, who uses grenade launcher. Kevin Smith, who uses knives. Coyote Smith, who uses a modified gun. revolver, guardsmith who uses a small pistol. They're armed force that rivals a small army. They do. You wouldn't want to be on their bad side. In conclusion, it is in the interest of the United States to keep, quote-unquote, them around. There's no telling when they might come in handy. I'll be contacting you again, Johnny Cagnan. So something that's interesting is that I know kind of I spoke over Iwazaru's talk down the stairs, but I think he mentioned something kind of about the past. I remember having a few lines in here where Iwazaru is kind of talking to you like kind of like you're in the future, which is really strange. But that kind of comes full circle at like the end of the game, so you'll see what that's all about eventually. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you'll be pretty surprised, I think. Let's switch back to Dan. To be honest though, at the beginning of the game, Coyote's kind of your best bet, just because he has that one vial shot, and like it's really, really good. But Dan is kind of like the... I don't know, I was kind of thinking in this game, playing each episode with a specific character, and like seeing if I can do it that way. I thought it might be like kind of a fun little experiment to do, but again, you know, not all characters are made equal, and playing a level through just with oh shit. Playing a level through with just Kaide or any other guys is a little iffy. Yeah. Playing as Consmith is fun, like when you upgrade him eventually, but normally, nah, he's a bit of a little trouble. So I may have said something in a previous playthrough or previous episode about if you destroy the smiles and you destroy like 3 parts of their body, they don't attack you after that. That's not true, because when I was playing earlier doing some testing for a video, because the stupid rig that I have to do this is insane, I was able to shoot off the legs of like leg, arm, and head. Both arms, 1 leg, and a head of Smile, and it's still coming after me, so yeah, that's not what I said was not true. Funnily enough. Yeah, lots of interesting little revelations playing this game now, considering I haven't played it for so damn long. Okay. So, I know for a fact that there's one of these guys here. And we're gonna look at the blood that we have now. So we've got 375, right? So keep count on that number, because we're gonna shoot the hell out of this asshole. Okay. Okay. 375. Look at that, it's still going. That's over 100 blood right there. One little dude. How could he have so much? Yeah. So you always have to remember to kill those dudes, because upgrading this game just makes it easier. So this is a disturbing character. I think her name's Susie, and she uses emojis, which back in 2005 I don't think many of us really knew about. Can't say there's much emoji penetration back in those days. Yeah, she died, and her head's in a dryer. She, headless corpse. Headless dead person. We can still talk. I guess I did. Yeah. I'm much in the way of her rotating slowly inside of yeah. Oh, look how big her head is too. I think they actually got that kind of wrong. Like, her head is disproportionately large. Ugh. Japanese cinema and Japanese lots of things. A lot of beheading imagery for whatever reason. Not for whatever reason. There's always a reason, cultural reason or whatever. I'm half Japanese, And I have no idea what that is. So if anyone wants to talk about why beheadings are so prevalent in Japanese media, then come on and bring it. Also, lots of paper bag imagery and stuff too. That's a thing as well. Yeah, so we're going a little bit backwards just because it's honestly the easiest way to sort of deal with what's coming up. So, quick note about these guys, smiles and stuff, is that if you are playing the game and you encounter one who you haven't scanned yet, and then you shoot it, it actually runs towards you faster. So it's particularly bad. Particularly bad when you have to equip rings. You'd think that the rings would actually give you like kind of like a fire shot on your weapons or something, but that's not the case here. It just allows you to solve puzzles basically. So yeah, you can. Now that the toilet has water in it, you can flush it, which makes something happen downstairs. It's kind of weird. Yep, there you go. So that's one puzzle solved. Now we have about 3 more in this area. Then we're good. Can't ever be sure. Also, this thing here, the scanning, that's Garcian's power, basically. He allows a team to see the Heaven Smile, so, and that power carries on to everybody, since he's the chief, quote unquote. Anyway, but yeah, so, trying to think about what else there is to talk about in the game. I do have something I'll show you at the end of the playthrough, which actually shouldn't be too long, believe it or not. And I can show you a file that basically has like everyone maxed out in terms of their abilities and stuff. So, I get scared. I get scared. I don't like them. These guys are scary. Cause, yeah, fuck you. No swearing. Come on. Gotta keep it clean on this channel. This is a clean channel, no swearing. Gotta be good. But like at level 5, you have like auto lock on to weak points, and you can do things like counterattacks, where say a smile tries to attack you, you can hit X really quickly, and then like take them down. You can also do down attacks after a while, which is really helpful. So say if a smile is crawling towards you, you can just shoot it. He's explained here that Coyote's like a thief kind of dude, and he can pick locks. Guess that's kind of cool. But yeah, we gotta do this, and this kind of takes us back around to the beginning, which is why it's important to make sure we get that object that we got before done, so we don't have to go backwards again. So, but the levels in this game are designed that way, kind of, where there's a locked door that's kind of locked for a reason, which is kind of weird. Yeah. Everyone's swearing in this game, you know? Everyone's got a potty mouth. And, very edgy to hear that when you're my age at the time when I was playing the game. Kind of cool, actually. So you gotta turn it off. Do that first, so it doesn't blow out the fire. And then we gotta solve the candle puzzles. So how are we gonna do that? How in the hell should I know how to do these candles? So keep in mind, in the regular mode in the game, because we're playing we're playing normal, not extreme. There aren't any numbers. The only things that you have to follow are basically the rings below, which is what Yoon Hyun or whatever told us about. So yeah, we got a little item here. You get a lot of weird little items, little crests and stuff, which are very reminiscent of Resident Evil games, I guess. Strange things like, you know, you can sell to merchants or whatever, the merchant dude. And Resident Evil 4, another really good GameCube, no, on other system game. Yeah. So we're actually coming up to the end of the level, believe it or not. This is a pretty short one, probably the shortest of all of them, which is a good thing, but also a bad thing, because the other levels can be a little bit longer than this, and not, the game I wouldn't say is impenetrable. It'd take you maybe about 10 hours to complete the entire thing, which is like it actually if you think about it, but you kind of have to, might have to retreat a little bit here. Oof. Lots of blood being used there. Wasn't prepared for that. Probably honestly should have gone backwards instead of going this way, which actually led me into all these smiles. But yeah, the game's not that long. It's about maybe 10 hours or so, and like honestly, it's a pretty easy 10 hours. Like the only level that's really difficult is, at least what I find difficult, is the Almeida level, which some people would probably scoff at. They'd be like, "No, what do you mean that's the easy level? That's not a problem at all." Ah, fuck. And that's what you get for talking, man. That's what you get for talking. You end up missing out on a lot of blood, which actually would have been really helpful to have done. So yeah, this is Master Smith. He's a luchador, or whatever, and his grenades are pretty powerful. They can do a lot of damage. He's really cool. He's got a really weird voice, which I think is really strange, but oh. We gotcha. We got you this time. So you can see, so we're at 601 right now, and this should give us at least about 100 or so, I'd say. Not 50, it's not that bad. But that's 50 blood that we're never gonna get, because we're not gonna go back to levels and play them again. It's like sex. I guess that's what happened to Travis Touchdown at the end of his life. He got killed by one of the Killer7 dudes. But yeah, the Almeida level's tough because of those giant smiles. But something I learned recently, pussy, nice. Something I learned recently was that actually you can shoot them in the eye and that kills them in one shot. So there you go. Dear Emir, we have a problem. A terrible thing has happened. I can hardly believe it, but the money is not in my account. I need your help. You got my last message, didn't you? That's passive aggressive there. I trusted you, and now you let me down. Promise me. Wire me the money immediately. $125 is peanuts. I'm telling you, man. The Smith Syndicate operate in strange ways. Garcia Smith manages the other 6 personas and mainly acts as a negotiator for work requests. Garcia never eliminates people himself. His role is to retrieve the bodies. Even if another persona is killed, it appears he is able to bring them back to life. Like a wizard, I tell you. However, it's my hunch that somebody offstage is calling the shots and controlling Garcia. There must be a hidden mastermind, separate from the active team. And it's likely that this mastermind assigns the jobs. Garcia is very loyal, and he values the organization. He controls the personas to keep the organization safe. He's a middleman, you see. The members switch using a medium of television, but I have yet to determine what governs the switches. The Smith Syndicate is composed of 1 sensible person and 6 freaks. I've never seen the other personas interact with one another. Soon I expect to unmask the myth behind this strange group. I'll be contacting you again, Johnny Cagnon. Cagnon? Canyon? Koopy? Cabyons? I don't know. But yeah, you find like a lot of little hallways like this in the game that kind of build on something, I guess. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. Again, like, lots of people read into the story a lot. And, yeah, I can't say I'm innocent of overanalyzing Killer 7. I wrote a lot about it back in the day when this game was pinnacle of everything when it came to my life. It was a defining game, man. It really was. And I say that just only a slight bit of irony or cynicism, just because lots sort of changed since then, 2005 that is. So you have to admit though, games like this do get made still, but not to this kind of level, not to this kind of weird. Which what is he saying? I haven't been paying attention to Irozaru at all. Him. Oh, talking about Kunlan, I think. Kunlan is a really weird character, and at the very end of this game, in the epilogue, you really get to see why he's weird. It's just, there's one really disturbing scene with him and another character where it's just like, whoa, okay, that's disturbing. He's got a bit of a weird animation going upstairs, but his animation going downstairs, oh, look at that. Look how cool that is. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. Okay, here we go. Oh. Like if you're holding dual grenade launchers and you didn't go downstairs like that, I'd question you as a person. Anyway, we're gonna switch back, I think, to Dan right now, because I think we're coming up to. Pretty sure we're coming up to a boss soon, so we're gonna have to deal with that. And Dan's probably the best guy to do it. Maybe. But we have another cutscene. Woo! Another person getting exploded.
Get the hell away! What is this thing?
It's a smile, and it exploded. Now you're a corpse. So something to note about this game is that it did have, I would say, at least in my experience, a kind of violence that was a little bit unprecedented in terms of games that were out at the time. Not in that it was like, you know, Pulsar was there and other violent games existed, but it's the kind of violence in this game that you see. It's not so much the soldier getting shot or whatever, right? It's the, how do I describe it? It's the innocent person getting killed, and like lifeless body falling to the ground like that. That's just kind of, oh, it's more, oh, fuck. Get him, get him, get him. Ah! Damn it, and I'm gonna get hit. Great. So that worked out perfectly. But yeah, it's just like the people getting killed like that, and there's one scene in that episode with Dan Smith, which is really disturbing, and I think it was censored in a few countries or something, where basically in the cutscene, the guy shoots like a prostitute in the head in like the back of a limo, and you know, at the time when I was watching it when I was a kid, this is also Kaide's ability. She can knock down barriers with this strange lady power or whatever. You need these bullets. Also good to note is if you get hit, the damage stays on your character, and you can switch to another character and they have their own health that they have. So Dan Smith's health, you'll see, is different than Kaide's. But yeah, so it's just violent in like a way that I don't think many people are kind of used to, and like sometimes it can get kind of disturbing, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Ooh. What is he talking about? Stop paying attention, basically. Okay. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna shoot this guy. We're not gonna worry about that area. I don't think we have to. I'm gonna start speeding up a little bit, I think. I have other things I need to do. Okay. So, one thing that's good is that we're at 700 blood, which means that we can actually go and do some pretty good upgrades and stuff. Perfect! Ah, just what I wanted to do. So this is another puzzle where basically you have to use Kaide to suck out the blood. But we're not gonna do that because I already know the code. And I don't really need to go through that again. I think the code is either on or no. I have a feeling it's no. Yeah. See, I remember that. Okay, we're back. Got a little distracted there for a second. But we're good now. Yeah. So, in the game, you fight mini-bosses in every single level. This is a unique boss in that this is the only one in the game that doesn't become a regular enemy. And I think you'd probably see why. Because this thing actually, compared to like the rest of the game, like the rest of the game's enemies, this one's actually... Oh shit, okay, here, hold on. Okay, good. This one actually is... See, I didn't get any blood from that. That's weird. This one's actually a bad one. In that, like, if you had to go up against this kind of guy all the time, yeah, I don't think anyone would be too happy with that. The game gets a lot easier once you start upgrading your characters and you start getting better lock-on stuff. But these guys always look like they're sort of like carrying something or something. I don't know. They're weird. Not yet. I want to be full with blood before we do that. Yeah, but this is like the speed smile, I think is what it's called. And it's like, yeah, really strange, and you'll see why. It just moves really creepily. It moves like, I don't know, I can't put, too lazy to put links into the videos or whatever. But it's a music video by a director named Chris Cunningham called Rubber Johnny. And the character moves just like him. In like weird, like, just distorted movement and stuff, and you'll see what it's all about in a second. Now, this I like to direct you to is probably the weird kind of thing in the game. It's like a weird excuse to be like, this is the boss now. You're moving into an entirely different area. This is a convenient point where it's like you need to have your bullets here to go through it. It's the one part of this game that feels like a lot like a video game. This guy's called the Gatekeeper, and this is probably the only time I've actually listened to what he has to say. He says the exact same thing every time. He's got cool hair. He's really boring, whatever. But inside here, the music is freaking nuts. And like I freaked out when I was a kid listening to the music in here because it was so cool. Can't really see what this guy looks like, but he's got strange kind of, yeah, anyway. But oh, here we go. Oh man. That's some cool ass music right there. That's music you could not make love to. But it is cool music. And to me, like, it was like, whoa. I actually have the Killer7 soundtrack, which I bought while in Japan for a lot of money. Kind of regret a little bit. Very difficult to find in Japan, believe it or not, soundtracks. Anyway, this is a weird area in the game. It's called the Vinculum Gate, and it's like a weird complex that leads to a bunch of different doors, and behind each door is kind of a boss. It's like a weird, just strange area, and it, again, like a lot of things in the game, but then like not a lot of things in the game, everything starts to make sense at the end of the game, sort of. Like you have to wonder yourself, I wonder what's in there. That middle one, in the middle of all the rooms. Where even is this? It's like in an air hangar or something. Anyway, but yeah. End of the game didn't really make much more sense. Anyway, but then you meet that weird guy who we saw before, and he gives you a few tips on how to beat the bosses and stuff. See, you can hear a little bit of the English. It's really weird. Gotta hurry and kill it. Kill it before it explodes. There's only 2 hard bosses in the game. One is not this guy, because he's a bit of a chump. But one is the laser smile, which is just this awful enemy who shows up in the game after a while. And this other smile who shoots rockets near the very end of the game. So you can see, like, look how he's moving and stuff, right? It's disturbing. But the thing is he's just a regular smile, and if you shoot him in the right place, which is very difficult to do, you could actually take him down, but we're not going to. I don't think. The troubling part of this is that if you don't kill him, perfect, these guys kill you in one shot. So that's the issue here, where now Dan is dead. Yeah. So we gotta go with Emir to go pick him up. Or we don't have to, I don't think. I think we can just leave if we want. But the only problem is that Emir right now is like super far back because I didn't go into any Harmon's rooms since the beginning of the game. Son of a bitch. That's what this game is all basically how I describe this game right now at this moment in my life. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Garcian though, doing pretty good right now for me. Would not use him beyond this though, ever. He's just not good enough. He doesn't have any special abilities or anything. He's really, really weak. He gets like a power up at the very end of the game, but yeah. Otherwise, he's just like I don't know. He's a bit of dead weight, a little bit. Okay. Sorry, I think I made the same mistake as I did before, going the wrong area. Yeah, I did, didn't I? Yep, did again. And I did it with Garcian this time, which is even worse. Because the Garcian dies, the game ends. And the sad thing is that now, you can't switch out of Garcian's body into another body, because he can't switch without the TV. So I may have just screwed myself and the playthrough altogether. But here's hoping we can still make it out in one piece. The Harmon rooms, actually, now that I think about it, and what I probably should have done was gone into them, the ones that I got just before the boss area or whatever, they basically act as a checkpoint. So if you decide to go get this game for yourself one day, keep remember the old tips that Matthew from the Super Slime Bros gave to you on this super flawed playthrough of the game. Yeah. You know, I think there are a lot of shortcomings. Ooh. Damn it. This game has a lot of shortcomings and a lot of issues. Definitely a lot of issues, I'd say. Oh, I forgot I can recover, actually. That'd be good to remember. But I think, you know, overall, the game kind of stands out just from purely from how unique it is as a game. You know, I don't think you can find many experiences like Killer 7, and I don't think many game developers would really want to put their audiences through this kind of game all the time. I don't think many people would really enjoy it, like having to deal with like strange mechanics and stuff and problematic things like that, like the way the characters die and stuff. I don't know. It'd be hard to say what would happen if you made a game like this today and you released it. What would happen? I don't know what the reaction would be like from people. I think most would see a game like this kind of being a bit too esoteric. Like, I think it has to do a lot with the developer. Suda51, I think, without the creator of Resident Evil behind him, is a lot less weird than he is alone, basically. Like, No More Heroes, despite it being a very good game, is not a weird game by any stretch of the imagination. It's a very... It has a cool meta-narrative and stuff, and it has like some cool things going on in terms of the story, but it's not weird like this, and it doesn't... It's not as intriguing of an experience, I don't think. And that's pretty damning when it comes to, you know, going from this to that, you know? There's a big difference. And, well, I guess, you know, maybe I screwed up this one time, so you can see this for your own enjoyment. I plan not to die anymore if I can. But yeah, so this is the like, this is what...
No remorse from seeing a dead body. To me, it's merely cold, rotting flesh.
This is Garcia and Smith's, like, ability, basically. Requires a little bit of mashing. Ooh. Yeah. And then you get him back.
What did you say?
What did you say? I say. And, you know what? You know what? While we're at it, might as well do this at this point. We can make ourselves some blood, because we have like tons of it now. So what you can do is, if you mash, you actually make the blood faster. And I've heard online that if you do it faster, you actually get more blood. I think honestly that's kind of bullshit, but you know, whatever. I'll do what I have to do to get more blood. The reason why it's funny is because it reminds me of reminds me of that thing with Pokemon.
You still are an ugly fella.
You're an ugly
How's
fella.
it been, huh?
Reminds me of that thing with Pokemon where basically they would say like, oh, you know, if you, what was it, if you mash A or something like that, you can get what was it?
What did you say?
You could get Pokemon caught easier or something like that. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Okay, so we got Dan upgraded like a lot. He's at level, I think level 3 with most of his stuff. But for the smile coming up, we're gonna be using Coyote, because if I'm why are we here? Why? Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, we're all the way at the very beginning of the level again. More downtime to keep talking. Most likely gonna just skip this. I'll just cut to like... I'll cut to the stupid... So, you know, okay, before I cut, something you can see is Kevin Smith here has an ability to basically go invisible. And you can see where his character model cuts through. You can see where his head cuts through. It's kind of funny, actually. But when it comes to getting through the game, he's like probably your best bet, aside from Colin. I think I mentioned in the first part, Colin has the ability to go super fast. That has use in like one area of the game where there's a really long hallway, and that's it. Kevin Smith, like, his invisibility like allows you to just blow through most areas and like 4 Heaven Smiles here. They can't see you. You can't see them. We're all friends here. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get to the boss, and I'm not gonna die again. Maybe. But I don't know. I'll show you Kevin's ability. You can also just, yeah, throw cool knives or whatever. Whatever. Yeah, but his invisibility is very helpful for moments like this where you're just like, man, them cuts, those Harmon room things, not great. Probably going to go save at some point too. You know, that Harmon room near wherever that is for convenience sake. Okay, we're almost there. I'm not gonna cut this out. This is all good stuff. This is not good because I realize I'm recording with the wrong format on my computer over there. But you know, whatever. Not great that Kevin just got hit. Doesn't matter. Not great that we have a little bit of lag. Starting to see more of the shortcomings of the game. Just a little bit. I'm not gonna go in there because I don't have time, and I don't care about one little cutscene with Travis where he probably says something stupid about something that has nothing to do with anything, something abstract that I don't care about, because that's what a lot of the the characters do in the game. It's like, oh hey Smith, do you remember this thing that you definitely don't know about, but maybe you do? No, I don't. Thank you for telling me. Alright. Oh, I'm just hating on this game. I'm hating on it. I gotta stop. I have a really serious appreciation for it. I really do like this game. And I don't know what would happen actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if I went invisible after the smile started running towards me up here. I don't know if that would break it or not. Yeah, anyway, but we're not gonna find out because I'm not going to take that risk because I want to keep playing the game. I want to get at least to the end of this level before I quit for today because it's getting late and I'm getting tired. I'm starting to get a little irritable and cranky. Alright, so here we go. Let's try this again. If this shot from Coyote doesn't kill it in one shot, then we're going to switch to Dan really fast. And, yeah, that's not really a scene that you see too often. Because the idea is to kill them on your first attempt, not your second attempt. Oh. Fuck. Oh man, getting upset. Oh, fuck it. Shoot it. Okay, there we go. That went well. I didn't screw that up. Oh, God, this game. Yeah, bosses in this game. I can't say they're the best experience in it. Like, dealing with regular smiles isn't a problem almost ever, but it's just, yeah, when you're dealing with some of the bosses, like there's just, yeah, I mentioned the missile one. The missile one is the most confusing, and it's hard to determine how you kill the stupid thing. We're gonna come up against it a lot later, but for now, we're gonna... Whenever it's red, it means you can save. We're actually gonna save the game for once. And see, Samantha's gonna help us out with that. Turn on the TV. Thank you. Thank you so much. Slot B. Oh man, there's no save files on this. This 2015 was the last time? Oh wow. So yeah, I guess I don't have my other save files on this card. It's on the other one, I guess. But I'll be showing you guys those much later on. I played this game pretty obsessively way back when, and Encounter, I'm actually surprised because that was about a year ago, I guess, that other file. And didn't get very far. That's Encounter. So, kind of funny in that regard. So yeah, there's a funny thing here too, actually, where there's a optional thing here. But yeah, this is an interesting thing. Who would have figured you'd be the only survivor? He's this Amir guy. Like he keeps referencing him. I've played the game like fully, and I still don't know. It's one of those mysteries of the game where like they keep mentioning Amir. Johnny Cagnon's talking about him. Always talking about Amir. You never actually find the character, so it's kind of weird that he's not in like a what's it called? In a what's his name? Didn't bother with that as like a sequel or something. I stole the wings. This is about another boss that we gotta fight. And this is not a fun boss, I'll tell you that for free. Oh no, on the back there's something there. This is like one of the only times Kaede is actually a useful character. It was a funny face. You could actually hear him say that. Just strange. So the weird thing is that there's this dialogue here, but there's also an optional dialogue on this side, I think? Or maybe not. I know somewhere around here there's an optional dialogue that you can have with somebody, where you can miss it pretty easily. And that may have been with Travis, back there. Anyway, whatever, regardless. Let's get this show on the road. We can meet the game's sort of central character, sort of. I don't know, kind of hard to say. Guy named Harmon Smith, played by the dude who portrayed Reginald Barkley in Star Trek. Hold on, see if I can find his name.
Be careful, sir.
He's probably my favorite character. Dwight Schultz. Good voice actor too. Harmon Smith. Yeah, pretty weird.
I'm the mother of this sacred place.
Ah, anime.
Our 4 children served their purpose.
They did.
They didn't die in vain. But our other 9 children were killed by you.
Okay.
What do you want from us?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it so bad that we have a purpose in life?
It's kind of
Only serving our gods.
yeah,
At heaven's command,
strangely
we will kill the unwanted.
out of place anime aesthetic shows up twice in the game.
I hope
Second time,
you
far more disturbing than this. Even though,
child, it's past your bedtime.
ooh, that voice. Even though this can be a little disturbing. Harmon Smith, understandably being in a wheelchair, you can't play as him in the game. But it'd be funny if you could, because having this gun, like, which is actually called the God Killer, which is pretty cool. Having this gun, like, at your disposal anytime would be really sweet. But no, you don't get to have that much fun. Suda 51 wouldn't allow you to have that much fun.
Better think again.
The voice changed up a little bit. And I think we're gonna be, who are we gonna be? Probably Dan. But we don't want to be Dan right now. Reason for that is, as you can see, actually that works. We'll see if we can get this working. So we gotta get behind the girl, and then you gotta shoot the things on her back. It's a lot harder when fewer faces there are. So that's why it's kind of smart to switch to Kaede, just because, like, you know, she's got the zoom in ability, right, with her rifle, quote unquote. The only problem with Kaede, and you'll notice she actually has bare feet, she's not the fastest character. So, like, Dan was able to cover that ground pretty quickly. Kaede not so much. Yeah, but she's doing alright. And to be honest, this isn't the hardest boss to beat. I think this is pretty easy. Shit. There's actually one boss in the game which is this crazy weird running smile, and really not a big fan of that, gotta say. That's not a fun one, because when you start chasing it, it eventually doubles back on you, and kills you in one shot because all the bosses kill you in one shot. I can't remember which way is the way forward. I think it's this one because the security camera is on the other one. Yeah, I think I'm right. I think we become Emir? No, Harmon. So yeah, this is how fast Harmon moves. You can get him to quick turn and regular turn. But yeah, not really a character you see too often. I think you use him in 2 levels, I have to say. That's about it. But now we're here to we're finding the boss man now. This is the encounter of this area. Gonna fight and meet Kun Lan, who is this game's central antagonist with a question mark. So you can see him, he's in the back there. He kind of shows up. If you look around, sorta.
Can't get it up?
She's like making fun of you and your impotence.
So you got me. Oh well.
Oh well. What?
So you got me. Oh well.
I'll shoot you in the face.
Just looking at you makes me sick.
Aw, so mean.
This is so lame.
Come on. So if you haven't guessed it,
Lame.
that's not who you're supposed to be shooting at. It's kind of a stupid thing. I don't really get the aesthetic. It doesn't make any sense with Kun Lan's character, but you know, whatever.
Oops. I guess my trick didn't work on you.
No, it didn't.
Tricks are for kids, Coon.
Yeah, they are.
I'm an old man.
Alright, I'm gonna shut up.
Yes. Nothing has changed for 30 years. No matter how many times you try, the result will be the same.
Yes. Like our chess games. You always seem to win.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
You tell me.
Because you're a bad player.
Here comes his laugh. Cause it's like the weird nemesis kind of thing going on with these two guys.
You're a good friend. But unfortunately,
It's just,
our interest
I don't know.
is not mutual. We both have become burdened with so much, and we don't have time for fun anymore.
No. There's always time for fun. It's Friday night.
So,
Let's dance.
and they proceed to have probably the most boring boss battle in the game, which is just them looking at each other. Pretty sure you can like wheelchair away yourself too if you want. Just, I don't know, usually with protagonist, antagonist, there's like an obvious reason at the start of why they're opposed to one another. I guess maybe you have Harmon dressed all in black with a giant rifle, you know, technology, versus Kun Lan, who's clearly spiritual and has some kind of magic power, and he's in green or something, so maybe there's some sort of opposition there between their two characters in design and whatever, but it's never really clearly established what the antagonism is. I guess Kun Lan is the source of all the smiles or something, but yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where maybe the less that's said, actually the better it is, and the more that's kind of left unsaid, but I don't think that would work, even if you were a god. I don't think a bullet has enough mass to carry you like that, but it's still pretty cool, right? I guess. Something.
You're awake from your dream.
Harmon, the size of the world has changed. It's changed to the size where you can control it with your hands, just like a PDA.
PDA.
The world will keep getting smaller.
Very true. Kind of scary. A little bit how small the world is getting, to be honest, but yeah. Tell this is 2005 because it said PDA, but whatever. So yeah, that's the first level completed. Only took about, I want to say, an hour. Quite a while. Not exactly very proud of that, but you know, whatever. You get a nice taste of what the game's actually like. And I guess in the next few episodes, we're going to move on and do The Day When Laughter Disappears From This World Draws Near. We're going to move on to the next episode, Sunset, and then keep going from there until we reach the end. So yeah, interesting times ahead. So I guess stay tuned to that. Oh, memory card. Oh yeah. I don't know how long this game takes. I want to say about 10 hours or so. That's about it, really. But yeah, so keep an eye out for new episodes, and